Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi and thank you so much for being here. Today's video is very impromptu. It's literally in the middle of the day and I had no intentions of filming at all really this weekend because you have guessed it.
I have a rash.
Another rash. If you're new here, you've probably already exited. That's something we're going to talk about today, my rash. But all in all, I just wanted to give you guys some life updates, channel updates, you know, where I want this channel to go, and answer a few questions that I feel like I've been getting a lot recently, and just make sure that you guys know, where I'm at with my skin and the kind of content that I want to create and some of the content that I'm creating on other platforms as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. And like I said, if you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe. We talk about more than just my skin and my rashes on this channel. We talk about skincare, mental health, vlogging, beauty, and I would love to have you join. Let's start with the rash scenario. Yes, I'm dealing with another rash. I'm frustrated. I'm so beyond frustrated with my skin because I feel like no matter what I do and how well I treat it, it always comes back to this. I'll kind of zoom in so you guys can see what I'm dealing with here, but it's basically tiny little red dots that have taken over my face, my neck, and it's starting to come onto my cheeks and my chest. And I'm just frustrated with it because I've been to the dermatologist enough times to know that this is not acne and that I don't get acne on my neck. I barely get acne on my cheeks. It's mostly something that I get on my forehead and in my hormonal areas. And so I don't know if you guys have had this experience with your dermatologist, but I always feel like I'm being gaslit into believing that what's going on is acne, and you know your skin better than anyone else, which is what I always say. And so it ends up me having to fight for myself and explain why I think it's different just to get them to try and treat it like what I know it is, which is not acne. I actually took a poll on my Instagram, which if you're not following it, I just created a skincare and beauty and kind of channel Instagram. The handle is at the Rudi Berry. So I'll leave that down below if you are interested in kind of getting more day-to-day information about me or what I'm talking about, what I'm liking, what I'm testing out. I kind of talk about that more on my TikTok and my Instagram, and then I kind of wrap it all up in a bow for YouTube. But anyways, we'll get to that in a second. I took a poll asking if, one, people have a dermatologist, and then two, if you do have one, have you ever left your dermatologist's office without an answer to what's going on with your skin? And 80% of people said yes, which made me feel better because I realized that there's not always a quick yes or no answer for most things when it comes to your skin, just because there are so many variations of what looks like to be the same issue. Like one dermatologist might look at this and say I'm having an acne flare, and another would be like, oh no, that's an allergic reaction. So it's hard to pin things down, but when it happens so many times, for me at least 3 times a year, I break out in a rash or I have an acne situation or something and I never know what the cause is, it becomes very draining on my mental health. So I have decided to call an allergist and get allergy tested to see if there is an ingredient in skincare or food or something that I'm coming into contact with that is causing these reactions on my skin. And hopefully I will have the results within the next couple months. I'll of course keep you guys updated, but it's been so helpful talking to you guys on Instagram and on TikTok about how you deal with your sensitive skin, which is the next topic I wanted to cover. I have incredibly sensitive skin, and it's something that is genuine about me, and I'm noticing in the social media space, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of these platforms, there are people who have sensitive skin, but not to the extreme like I feel like I do, and there are not a lot of creators in the space that have that extremely sensitized skin that have to be careful with what they use. And it also has led me to realize that my skincare routine and what I recommend to you guys, it's very tailored to people who have sensitive skin, but that's true to who I am. And so I really can't change that. And so going along with that is this increase in companies reaching out to me. So this kind of ties back into the conversation about social media. I have been growing on YouTube very well, to be honest. A lot of people say that your first video, your first couple videos are not going to do that well. Like you're going to grow over time. And I've had kind of the opposite. My first video I ever uploaded on YouTube has over 100,000 views, almost 150,000 views, which is very uncommon in the YouTube space. But it was about Tretinoin, and it was a video that I felt was needed. And apparently other people felt the same way. So because of that, I've really had the exposure and the chance to grow very quickly. I am almost at 6,000 subscribers, and I started less than a year ago. So it's been quite a change in my life because one, I love creating content. Two, I love connecting with you guys. You know that I answer every single comment that I get. There's never a comment that goes by unless it's rude, which is very rare, that I don't answer. And that has led me to creating other areas where I create content, and I'm trying to juggle those and make sure that I'm giving you information that's different across all of them that also feels concise and feels like me. So on my YouTube channel, I make videos that kind of span over weeks' time of things that I'm trying, favorites, fails, all of the topics that I do. It's kind of an overview of things and a place where I can connect with people that seemingly have the same skin problems as me. So that's my YouTube, and it is my number one platform, right? It's the thing that I put the most work into, and it's the thing that I enjoy the most, to be honest. And then there's TikTok. I created my TikTok account as a fun thing at first. Actually, I was just consuming TikToks on it. I used to love Vine, so to me, TikTok was like right up my alley. And I started creating on that app because I felt like there was a way for me to give people quicker answers to their questions about skincare or beauty or whatever it is. And also that I could be funny over there. You guys know that's a huge part of my personality, is having fun and being funny. And so being able to do that kind of whenever I want off the cuff is why I started doing TikTok. And that has really resonated with a lot of people. Granted, the algorithm on TikTok is very different than YouTube. I have grown to almost 35,000 followers on TikTok, which is obviously a much larger group than YouTube. But with YouTube, the average subscriber rate is that someone watches 7 videos before they subscribe. 7 videos. I mean, that's basically a movie's worth of content of me before someone subscribes. That's just not my data, that's the data in general, because you're spending upwards of 30 minutes with someone out of your day. So I totally understand that. TikTok, my videos are 30 seconds to a minute long. It's easier to ingest. You see them every once in a while. The algorithm is very robust. It sends it out to certain people. Not everyone you follow sees it. It's all very new, right? But I do share a lot of content and work with brands from my TikTok page because that is where most of them are finding me. So that is the next thing I want to talk about, which is brand partnerships, sponsorships, getting PR, and how that is playing into my life and my skin, and how I want to work with these 3 channels that I'm working with, which Instagram I can cover very quickly. I just created a new Instagram and I share kind of whatever I want. I like to take photos of products that I'm using, and I like to share information that I can about different brands or things that are going on in my life. So no pressure to follow anything that you don't want to, but that's sort of how I'm siphoning them out in my head, at least. I also have found that the best way to get in contact with me to have an actual conversation is through Instagram. So if you ever do want to talk to me, feel free to DM me there. It's the fastest way to get a hold of me. But anyways, going back to the PR scenario. So as I mentioned, on TikTok, I've got about 35,000 followers. And because they're so quick, I'm able to talk about a product in 20 seconds, and then that brand will most likely see my video because of a tag or someone sending it to them. And that is how these conversations have started with brands. And I just kind of want to keep you guys in the loop of what's going on there, because I feel like on YouTube, all of a sudden I was like, hey, I got PR from this company. Does anyone want to see it? And I didn't feel like I was giving you guys the background of kind of how that happened. And mostly it's because of TikTok. I've always sort of treated my social channels like as if I were a big YouTuber or TikToker or whatever, because I do believe that what you put out and the way that you present yourself and the way you present your channel is how people are going to perceive it. So I invested in a nice camera and a microphone. I upload twice a week consistently because I enjoy it, because I want to share this information and I do want my channel to grow. And I've seen great success in that. And so I do think that part of that is that brands are seeing that in smaller creators that have a good community around them, that have a solid group of people who trust them and also have similar skin and similar beauty concerns as they do, that are working at the caliber of a full-time Instagram social media person, which I'm not. I have a full 9 to 5. You guys know that. I mean, this is my side gig, and it's starting to turn into something more slowly but surely, and it's really exciting, but it's also kind of scary because my goal for 2020 at the end of the year was to hit 1,000 subscribers. 1,000, and I hit that goal in 3 months. So it's just way more than I ever dreamed it would be, and I'm having so much fun with it, but that does come along with a little bit of anxiety. So the brands that are reaching out to me mostly are reaching out to send me free product, no strings attached, and most of the time I tell them I'd be happy to try them, but there are a few things that you should know. One, I have no obligation to post about them. This is not an exchange for a post. Two, I have very sensitive skin. I already am on a prescription strength acne medication, which we'll talk about tretinoin in a minute. And so I don't need any additional active ingredients. And three, my, preference with skincare is fragrance free and oil free. So if you are going to send things, I'm not going to use it unless it kind of hits those buckets, because what's the point in them sending things for me to give them away, give them to whoever, if I'm not going to use it? And most companies have been good about that. I've gotten PR from Bliss Skincare, which we're going to talk about in a favorites and fails. I've gotten skincare from Osea, which I've mentioned on my community tab, and a few people were interested in wanting to hear about them. I'm going to get PR from Coco Kind, Beekman 1802, Neutrogena wants to send me some things. So once again, these are all brands that would have never found me from YouTube, but have found me on my TikTok, which gives me the opportunity to talk about these products with you guys on YouTube. That's why I'm making this video, because I want you to know the background of why I'm getting PR, how it's happening all of a sudden out of nowhere seemingly, when it's really been over the past few months and I just haven't had a chance to sit down and talk to you about it. That being said, I have absolutely no loyalty to any brand, and to be completely honest with you, I am not in a financial bind where I feel like I need to receive free product from companies to continue to make my channel. I purchase what I want, beauty and skincare. I don't purchase what I don't want to, and my channel, my content does not rely on a brand to send me things. Point blank. I have never accepted a sponsorship on any of my channels, and that's something that I would have to take into consideration really tough and really think about that a long time before I did that, just because I am a small channel. I'm still growing trust with my audience, and unless it was the right move for me, I'm not going to do that. So there's that. So you have absolutely nothing to worry about when it comes to me being trustworthy, because to be honest, I don't need it. I do this for fun, and I'm not going to align with a brand that I don't feel makes sense for me and for you. So don't worry about that. The only thing that I have done that I did want to talk to you guys about was on my TikTok, I am friends actually with someone who works for Hero Cosmetics. They sent me a PR package. I've tried them over the past couple months. I have absolutely loved what they have sent me. I talked about their lightning wand in a favorites video that I can link up above. They have amazing pimple patches, and they also just came out with a new 3-step line that's very acne friendly and very gentle and sensitive skin friendly. And I do have a few ads that I made for them on their TikTok, and a few people have sent them to me and been like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, which it is. But I am going to talk about the full line and everything like that. If you're interested, you ever see my face attached to something and you're not sure if it was me, if they did it on purpose, if they did it on accident, send it to me and we can talk about it. That's really the only thing I've done in terms of advertising or working with a brand, and it was totally the right fit for me. I just didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about it on YouTube. Wow, I've already been talking for basically 20 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up soon. Basically, all I wanted to do was check in with you here and say I'm really excited to continue making the content I'm always making, but if you feel like there's a piece of the story on my YouTube missing, please check in on my other channels if you like TikTok, if you like Instagram, because it's more of a day-to-day conversation over there. I'm still gonna post twice a week here, but I do talk more casually on my other channels. The last thing that I wanted to cover is people are asking me randomly if I'm still on Tretinoin, just because I don't talk about it quite as much as I used to. And yes, of course, I still am. I'm on it every 3 nights. I feel like I've kind of exhausted the video topics surrounding Tretinoin specifically. I've done a Q&A. I've done my evening and morning routines. I've done Tretinoin tips. I have an entire playlist for it. So definitely watch through those before you might ask any additional questions. But I'm always here to answer those questions. I'm always going to be honest about what I'm using on my skin, and Tretinoin is still in my routine. I plan on doing an updated evening routine actually in the next couple weeks once this rash clears up. I mean, this is getting worse just sitting here. So I'm sorry if this video was not as fun as our normal ones, but I just want to keep you updated and give you a look kind of behind the curtain of what's going on. And I can't wait to make more content for you guys. You know that you can always request videos in the comments below. I read all of them, and I will see you on Thursday with a really fun video that is going to be based about a company that did send me their entire makeup line. Once again, this is not sponsored, called Merit Beauty, and I've seen so many people talk about them online, and I think it is going to be a perfect fit for a lot of you. I have really liked it a lot, so I want to share with you just some new makeup that I've gotten that I feel like has been really good for sensitive skin in the winter and as we're heading into spring. So anyways, lots of great content coming up. Can't wait to talk to you guys really soon. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on Thursday.